Okay, my name is Jon Burgerman. I'm an artist. I live in New York. The first paid gig I had was shortly after I left university, and I was asked to paint an album cover for a musician called Charles Webster. And I studied fine art, so I wasn't really set up to do sort of illustrative work or anything, but it was pretty straightforward, and I painted this cover, and they accepted it. And then a few weeks later, it was in record stores, if you remember those, and newspapers, if you remember those, and magazines, music magazines. I'm not sure if they exist anymore either. But and it was everywhere, and it was very exciting. And that sort of opened my mind to the fact you can do paintings and create work, and then it can be applied to things, and you can actually earn a little bit of money doing that kind of stuff. So that was like the first significant paid work I ever got. No, there was no real reason why I moved to New York. I kind of joked that I wanted to retire, and I thought New York would be a good place to do it. But due to the expense of living in New York, the retirement only lasted a weekend. I'd been working in the UK for, like, professionally for just over 10 years or so. And I was pretty burnt out, and I'd been traveling a lot, and I just decided I wanted a change. And I was living in Nottingham, in the middle of England, and I thought I could live anywhere in the world. All I need is a sketchbook and a pen and a scanner maybe and a laptop, and they all easily fit into my suitcase. So why be anywhere? So I decided to try and move to the most difficult place to move to, what with visas and all the kind of documentation and stuff you need, and that was New York. And yeah, it turned out okay. And so about 4 years ago, I moved here, sort of the end of 2010. The day after I arrived, there was torrential, heavy snowfall, and I couldn't even leave the house. So I think it's been really positive in terms of new stuff, new influences, new people, new environment, that kind of thing, new challenges. It's important to push yourself, and I think I got to a level of being quite comfortable in the UK. Yeah, I mean, I thought it'd be really easy because they almost speak English here in New York, so I thought there wouldn't be, but there's a huge cultural divide as wide as the Atlantic, and the kind of dance of, like, particularly in commercial sense, that kind of dance is quite different over here, and how people talk about their work and how you liaise with clients and things is quite different, I'd say, to how it is in the UK used to. Although when I first landed here, I decided I wouldn't really pursue any commercial work. I thought I'd have a bit of time off, a sabbatical, if you want to give it a kind of fancy term. So for a year or so, I kind of did other projects, and I didn't really worry about that kind of stuff so much. But yeah, I don't think you realise how difficult it is until you're sort of through it, in a way. Like, in speaking to other expats, you kind of realise after a year or two that actually the first couple of years were really tough. But you don't know it at the time. You're just sort of fighting and settling in and getting used to everything. And then it begins to get a little easier, I think, once you settle in. There's lots of stuff, little stickers, drawings, doodles. It's hard to really pinpoint one project. I mean, you could kind of pick an exhibition and say, oh, here's a load of artwork and stuff, and that kind of represents what I do. But my practice is made up of lots of different ways of making work, from traditional drawing and painting to animation to design, licensing my work, to toys, to performance. So it's hard to, I don't want to just do one thing, so it's hard to sum it up in one project. But yeah, so I don't know if I can really pick one thing. I mean, I just, in a commercial sense, I just did a project with Samsung, and that's me painting on a window, which we filmed stop motion. So it's kind of animated, but you can see that I'm drawing, and it's colorful, and I'm in it as well. So it kind of ticks a few of those boxes. And then on the flip side of that, I guess quite differently, I made recently I went out and sold these miniature Jeff Koons knockoff sculptures outside the Whitney on a little table just on the street. And, you know, that was kind of like a silly performance thing that I had the idea to do. So I was sort of inhabiting the work rather than just making it. And the interaction between me and everyone, I set up just outside the exit of the museum. So everyone, you know, interacting with that was kind of a interesting experiment. So that's like another kind of work that went really well and people have really responded well to. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Is it really for me to say? So you should ask someone that knows me what my main characteristic is. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know. Awkward Britishness.